guys, it's Alana and welcome back to my channel for another video. Now today we are doing something very exciting. I have been invited along to a media day for the Festival of British Eventing here at Gatcombe. So Princess Anne's just left in her helicopter. I'll be talking to Captain Mark Phillips and Peter Phillips today all about the cross-country course and getting some exclusive behind the scenes content for you guys. You can already see what looks like fence 5 in the background. The entire cross-country course is not quite built yet, but we're going to walk around it, get talking about it all, and it's going to be so much fun. So we've done a 4-hour drive, so let's get cracking. Right guys, so we're just wandering along and we do have random fences. It's like somebody's moving the furniture about. I reckon me and Jensen could jump this one. It's only up to my shoulder. Okay, found another log and I'm pretty sure I'm comfortable jumping that one.
So then we stopped by the infamous wall with this absolutely incredible view. We stood and had a chat to Captain Mark and Peter, just having a talk about all the different courses, all the different jumps that's happened over the years and what the exciting plans are for this year. One very exciting feature which hasn't quite been tidied up yet is the comeback of the steps. Now I'm so excited to see this in action this year.
This is a change from previous years because rider feedback was that we had a bit of a merry-go-round out here in previous years, which I think some of the riders didn't really enjoy or appreciate. So that's been taken. Their feedback's been taken into account. But obviously, one of the reasons we wanted to incorporate the steps is obviously because of this. Because it is 40 years, it was one of the original fences, so to be able to bring back one of the original fences into the mix and be able to actually then takes out that a need for the Open to do another loop in Neighbouring Banks behind us. So it's sort of it was a nice nostalgic moment to be able to bring back fences and also listen to what the feedback the riders are giving.
Sort of running out of new ideas. It's different this year, it's different every year, but I think somebody with a completely fresh set of eyes could have another look again, give it a different look again for the future.
So Captain Mark and Peter was super informative, telling me about all things Magic Millions Festival of British Eventing. Now what I found was the most interesting was the fact that the terrain is actually one of the most difficult parts of the event. Basically, Captain Mark strives to make sure that there is some form of flat land or they get the horses going up and down the hills rather than letting them go across the sloped camber. Then another thing I found interesting was that Captain Mark is planning on stepping down, so I wonder who's going to be designing the course next year.
Right then, so we've just had a chat with Captain Mark and Peter. It was really interesting to hear about, so this place, so Gatcombe is actually an organic working farm at the same time as hosting these 5 championships for the Magic Millions Festival of British Eventing. So I thought that was so super cool. They've got to try and fit in these horse trials around the farming schedule. So it doesn't make things easy, but it does make things environmentally friendly. So how cool is that?
So the next thing on the agenda was another nice long trek. Now we are heading to the bowl, which I'm sure everybody knows about, where you can just sit and see everything. And then I spotted Princess Anne's house in the background and I was like, girlie, let me move in. It was truly so scenic, so we stopped next to the Land Rover fence and we decided to do a little Q&A interview there with the perfect background.
Anyway, on this bank here, you get to see 11 or 12 fences, and the difference, we have a good crowd here at Gatcombe every year, but not a massive crowd like Babington. So actually people come here and they can sit on this bank, put a rug down, have a picnic and enjoy watching the horses go around. So in that way it's much more of a sort of family friendly.
So hearing about the bowl was really interesting because obviously I've never been to Gatcombe before, so I was really looking forward to having a little change from the other events and actually being able to see loads of the event rather than just one event.
Right, hello everyone, it's Alana Clark and today I am here at the media day for the Magic Millions Festival of British Eventing here at Gatcombe with Peter Phillips and Mark Phillips. How are you guys doing today?
Very good. Yeah, it's a bit cooler than the last media day we did. I think it was 42 degrees the last time we were doing a media day last year. So yeah,
Oh, well, I bet you were glad you didn't have any horses on that day then.
I'm very happy.
Yeah, and it's not raining, so we're harvesting today. So
Cracking. Yeah, brilliant. Right then, so I've got a couple of questions for you guys. So Peter, will go for you first. So as the organiser of this amazing event, what have you found that's been your biggest challenge?
Well, where do you start? Listen, I think there are challenges at all levels when you're trying to put a temporary event on like this and a horse trials. We touched on it earlier about the complications of this being an organic farm, and we're having to work with the estate and with the farm in terms of when we can get access to the estate and grazing and so on and so forth. So there's lots of challenges on the ground, but then I think if you look at the bigger picture, costs for events like this have gone up over 35% in the last 4 years, and simply put, we are desperately trying to make sure that this is an affordable family day out, and so we're relying massively on our family of partners and sponsors to be able to come in and cover a lot of the costs that otherwise we would have to pass on to the ticket holders. Because this is because we run 5 championships here, we don't have the big numbers of entries, so the entries don't really cover any of the costs. So it's a constant balancing act. But the pressure on temporary events like this to bring in all the infrastructure, the costs are going up, and so on and so forth, while still trying to deliver a value for money event for the general public and a family day out. That is probably the biggest challenge. Is just trying to make sure that we all get out of here without having lost a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, clearly a massive amount of work has gone into this. So what makes the Magic Millions Festival of British Eventing so special compared to all the other horse trials out there? Well,
I think every horse trials has its own unique character. I think Gatcombe here, this is our 40th anniversary this year. The event was started by my parents to put something back into the sport, and here we are 40 years later. We're running 5 national championships. It really is a celebration of everything that is eventing, from the Magic Millions British Open at the top end, right down to the top spec Corinthian Cup at the bottom end for amateurs. So and we have a lot of pony club event activities and so on and so forth. So the event is really a celebration of everything equestrian, but primarily at all levels of the sport. It's in an amazing setting, as you can see. I don't think there is another event in the country that has the terrain that Gatcombe has. That's a benefit and a hindrance, but it is a championship setting. They are tough courses. They're meant to be tough courses. The terrain makes it very tough, but that's what makes Gatcombe special. It makes it a special place. It makes the festival special.
It's not every day you get the chance to ride in the Princess Royal's front garden.
I know, I'm so excited. Her house is in the background. Oh my God. Yes, actually, piggybacking off what makes the event so special. So you have built this amazing course as well. What do you think, if you were the horse and rider, what would you be the most excited to ride? Put you on the spot.
What I'd really look forward to is getting to the finish. But actually, as a designer, you really, really hope that one fence doesn't cause all the trouble or any trouble. Because if that happens, it's the designer's fault, because the margin for error at that fence is too small. And so we go to a lot of trouble with the positioning of the fences and the profile of the fences and the decoration of the fences to help the horse understand the puzzle as clearly as it can, because horses see different from us. We focus, horses see front and back, and horses don't actually see the bit of the fence that they're jumping. They draw all the information from the side, and so it's understanding that, and understanding horses see in contrast, not colour, so we can use all this to help the horse understand the puzzle, help it to get his legs out of the way every time it comes to a fence.
You design some of the fences to scare the riders, not the horses. And I think that's one of the things you've always said. It's making the riders think twice rather than making the horses think twice.
Yeah, because nobody wants to have an accident, but the biggest aid to safety is the riders respecting the fence. If the riders respect the fence and go, ooh, that's a decent fence,
They're more likely to ride it better.
they're going to ride it better, and therefore the horse is more likely to jump it.
Exactly. Well, talking about that margin for error, which, fence or combination do you think is going to be asking the most questions of our horse and rider combinations this year?
I think, if you think of a horse into the wild, every time it comes to the water, it would sniff and it would tippy toe in and go little bit by little bit into the water. Here we're jumping, into the Magic Millions water here, over a big fence and you drop down in, doing, 15 miles an hour. That's not a normal thing for a horse to do, and that requires trust and training between the horse and the rider. And of course, from a public point of view, everybody likes to see that rider get an early bath. So there's always a lot of people around as well.
Yeah.
So the waters are probably the thing that was the most unnatural fence for the horses to jump. And here we have two.
Excellent. So we've got two rider scarers. Well, brilliant. Thank you so much to both of you. I'm really looking forward to seeing the course completed and the show in its full, glory. So let's get cracking with the rest of the media day. Thank you so much.
Brilliant, thank you.
So I've just gone and taken a selfie with Captain Mark and Peter. I turn around to them and go, can we put our arms around each other so we look like we like each other to royalty? Why am I let out of the house sometimes? Honestly, I don't even know.
So this looks like me shouting at Captain Mark and Peter, but I promise it was all nice. So with that, we headed back to the cars where I had a very good phone call with Horse and Country TV. So many of you will be excited to know that Horse and Country TV will be covering the cross country here at the Magic Millions Festival of British Eventing at Gatcombe. So even if you can't make the drive there or just aren't available to be able to pop out, you can always just tune in to Horse and Country TV so you don't miss any of the action at all. And if you check out my bio, you will also see that I have a nice discount code for anyone wanting to tune in.
Right guys, that is all from me today. I super hope you enjoyed this video. I know I have absolutely loved bringing you some exclusive behind the scenes footage here at Gatcombe for the Magic Millions Festival of British Eventing, with some super exclusive and awesome interviews with Captain Mark Phillips and Peter Phillips, telling you all about organising the event and making this amazing course that you will be seeing from the 4th to the 6th of August. So make sure to keep an eye on Instagram because I have partnered up with Equitrek to give away 2 tickets to this amazing show. So I'm super looking forward to seeing you all here. Make sure to get entering into that competition. And until next time, guys, it is goodbye.